Hello, this is Sakamoto321 and this is the 19th part of my Chivalry Medieval Warfare Weapon Guides. In this episode, we take a look at the fastest weapon available for the Vanguard class, the Claymore. Highlandish. The Claymore is essentially nothing more than a greatsword. First developed in Scotland, the name comes from the Anglicization of the Gaelic word for a greatsword. This means that the sword known as the Claymore is universally found in Scotland and other parts of the British Isles as the Claymore, but in other parts of Europe as the greatsword. This sword reached its popularity height during the 15th through 18th centuries, with Scottish Highlanders using them against the British in their various wars. It is for this reason that the sword is also likely available earlier than the 15th century, just not as widely used. The Claymore is a fast weapon to swing. In fact, the ult swing stab combo is one of the fastest combos in the game, and also one of the most deadly. There are 4 attack types with all Vanguard weapons, and the Claymore does not differ. Against the archer, the Claymore is deadly. The LB attack will deal 94 damage to the head, 75 to the body, and 60 to the legs. This will always kill in 2 hits. The overhead deals much heavier damage, is capable of a 1-hit kill. The overhead deals 106 damage to the head, 85 to the body, and 68 to the legs, devastating to an archer's lifespan. The stab attack deals pierce damage, and is the only attack to do so. The archer receives 79 damage to the head, 63 damage to the body, and 50 to the legs. This is still more than capable of a 2-hit kill. Sprint attack with this weapon curiously deals the same amount of damage as a mouse wheel down attack. The archer will receive 106 damage to the head, 85 to the body, and 68 to the legs. The man-at-arms class does not fare much better against this Scottish weapon. The LB attack will deal 80 damage to the head, 64 to the body, and 51 to the legs. This is still capable of a 2-hit kill. The man-at-arms class receives the same increase in damage from the mouse wheel down attack, at 90 damage to the head, 72 to the body, and 58 to the legs. Stabbing is still, however, moderately effective, and will take 3 hits to kill. The stab will deal 70 damage to the head, 56 to the body, and 45 to the legs. The sprint attack, again, has the same damage values as the mouse wheel down, at 90 to the head, 72 to the body, and 58 to the legs. The Vanguard is a bit more resistive to the Claymore. LMB attacks doing swim damage is not as effective, dealing only 56 to the head, 45 damage to the body, and 36 damage to the legs. The mouse wheel down does fare a little better, but not much. 64 damage to the head, 51 to the body, and 41 to the legs will need 3 hits to kill in most cases. The stab shines out, however, as the most effective attack. It's not by a large margin. The mouse wheel up attack will deal 70 damage to the head, 56 to the body, and 45 to the legs. The sprint attack is following the trend of the exact damage as the mouse wheel down attack, coming in at 64 to the head, 51 to the body, and 41 to the legs. The knight is, as always, tank-like in its defense. The LMB attack will only do 38 damage to the head of the knight, 30 to the body, and 24 to the legs. This is, however, still only a 4-hit kill minium. The mouse wheel down attack is slightly more effective than the LMB, at 43 damage to the head, 34 to the body, and 27 to the legs. The mouse wheel up attack does have a slight increase against the knight, however it is not much. 44 damage to the head, 35 to the body, and 28 to the legs only adds 1 point of damage, and this point is negligible. As with every other class, the sprint attack deals the same amount of damage as the mouse wheel down, at 43 damage to the head, 34 to the body, and 27 to the legs. The combination of the ult swing and the stab cannot be stressed. It is far more effective than the sprint attack. In fact, the sprint attack is not that useful with this weapon, as you can do the same thing with a mouse wheel down attack. Try to mix it up when using the mouse wheel down attack or the sprint attack to fool your enemies. For our loadout, we look to make a true Highlander class, one that charges headlong into the battle for both the ruthless assaults and skillful swordplay. The primary slot will hold the Claymore. The secondary slot, the hatchet will deal the most damage and therefore complement the Claymore nicely. In the special slot, the use of the throwing axes will add extra range damage. This is important as the Claymore does have the shortest reach out of all the Vanguard's sword weapons. That's our build, a medium assaulter class that will send your enemies running. With this Highlander's weapon at the ready, your ruthless assaults will render your enemies headless. So prepare your kilts, for after all, there can be only one.